glistening. Oh, man. Beautiful day here in these Hawaii streets. Ugh. Beautiful day. What's going on, people? About to head to the store, so I figured let's have a conversation on my way to the stove. Marvin Wilson. Now, I thought going on. You can see the man. This is this. Allowed to come to them, accusing him of, and then absolutely lackluster on the football. Going on. Terry's another one, something to say. All right, I had to switch up some stuff on the Wi-Fi, but we good. About to head cruising and moving. Look, I honestly, believe it or not, I don't gain any like pleasure, so to speak, out of being right about Marvin Wilson. I am surprised that he's going undrafted, it looks like. That's kind of a shock. I thought somebody would take him fifth, fourth, fifth, sixth. I mean, but again, it goes to my point, man. You can't, man. NFL teams don't play that calling out the organization and don't calling out the head coach, and that's essentially what he did. You feel me? You can't do that. Or if you're gonna do it, you better be the right guy to do it. Meaning your production has to trump all that stuff you doing on the outside. Lesson learned to all these young athletes. Let me be very clear what I'm about to say. Ain't nothing wrong with speaking up, taking a stance, and speaking about what you believe in. 100%, nothing wrong with that. But I would say, take a page out of the LeBron James handbook. Get your stuff in order first. Get your bank account. Get it to the point where they can't affect your money. They can't affect your status because you've already got it. It's very hard for a 20-year-old to come out here and try to take a stand like that, which is cool. I'm not knocking it. But now you've limited who you can reach and touch because you went from being a millionaire to now you're going to be an undrafted free agent making whatever the league minimum is. You went from being a millionaire to nothing. Take a page out of LeBron James, man. LeBron James didn't start doing what he was doing till he was certified. And quite frankly, it was the smart way to go about it. LeBron, at this point in LeBron's career and in his life, the man can say what he wants to say about whatever political issue he wants, and he's untouchable. He has his own money. He's got his own businesses. LeBron James doesn't need anybody's endorsements at this point. Had LeBron just came out as an 18-year-old straight out of high school and said some of the same things, we all know that's a different story, and that thing would have played out differently. So that's my thing on it. Marv, unfortunately for you, you took a stance. You didn't go about it. Maybe you did go about it in the correct way. Maybe you didn't. That's up for debate. But what's not up for debate is you didn't perform on the football field, which is ultimately what these teams care about. How do I say it? I'm not gonna say a lack of respect, but you showed that you didn't hesitate to call out your head coach and organization, and the NFL doesn't play about that, regardless of how anybody feels about it. Me personally, again, I respected what he did. I stood up for what he did. I wasn't necessarily mad at what he did. I know a lot of FSU players are like, Marv, just shut up, get off social media. Me, I supported it. I was like, if at the time I was tackling the country, and obviously he wasn't. As for Scary Terry, he's in a similar situation as Marv. Did a lot of Twitter stuff. Very vocal against the coaching staff on the sidelines and things of that nature. Marvin and Terry has all the physical tools, but again, go to his tape. Drop passes, completely disappearing in games. Not a great route runner at all. He's really a one-trick pony. Give him a go route, he can get it and take it to the house. But other than that, can't do too much else on the football field. Terry's in a similar situation, man. Terry's in a similar situation. I actually think Marvin Wilson's a better football player than Marvin and Terry. But again, Terry, neither one did themselves any favors. Jay Play says they should have stayed. Tay, they say drafting long snappers at this point. Bro, they drafting anything at this point but Marvin Wilson and Marvin Terry. Them boys thought they was bigger than the program. That shit backfired. Yeah, you back. Terry and Wilson talk. Hold up, chat skip. I'm trying to read the chat and drive. So if I get in an accident, I'm blaming you guys. The boys thought they was bigger than the program. It backfired. Terry and Wilson talked themselves out of the league. Absolutely there, Brandon. They talked themselves out of the league. Look at this, man. Hampton Hazelden didn't even play last year, bro. What did he play? 1-2 games? He got drafted. I did not see J-Rob getting drafted in the 4th round. Shout out to J-Rob and Kando. They went in the 4th round. You know who else went in the 4th round? A guy by the name of Devontae Freeman. So that's a pretty valuable. That's a valuable spot for those two guys who didn't have a lot of on-field production. If we're being honest, a lot of Seminoles went in the 4th round. Where did Hampton go in the 5th? If I'm not mistaken, right? 5th. Hampton go in the 5th or the 6th. But I know the Jets picked him up. J-Rob and Kando got picked up. You know, Asante went early 2nd. I tweeted Trey McKinney because there's no way Trey McKinney got drafted off of his damn Georgia tape, all 6 catches and 100 yards of his Georgia tenure. They drafted him off of what he did at Florida State, period. So there's that. So shout out to Trey McKinney. He's still an old in my book, personally. But man, these guys got picked before Marvin Wilson and Marvin Terry. Hate to say I told you so, because this isn't really about that. You know, I thought Terry had a chance to be really. I thought Terry had a chance. Again, then you go out there, his workouts were just as lackluster as Marvin Wilson's. On top of all the stuff off the field with him, I'm not surprised by either one of these guys. I'm really not surprised by Terry. I'm not surprised that Terry's going undrafted. I'm more surprised that Marv's actually going completely undrafted. I do think that's a bit crazy, but hey, it is what it is. Terry, yeah. Rick Ross about to get that money back from Terry. Hey, Terry could have benefited from staying. If he didn't want to stay at Florida State, then Terry should have transferred somewhere else and gotten an opportunity. He didn't do enough on the football field to prove that he was with all the wide receivers. And this was a very deep wide receiver class. Marv got drafted, did he? No, false alarm. Marv didn't get drafted. What are we talking about here? I know he didn't get drafted. So somebody say he got drafted. Ham did go in the sixth. I knew it was the fifth or the sixth. I know the Jets took him. That's another valuable pick for the. I think that the Jets have a chance to get a real steal out of Hampson if he's healthy. Sounds like they're going to try to move him to linebacker, but he has the measurables to play linebacker. We talked about Hampson Nasruddin. You know, Hampson's a guy who I think if he's healthy and he plays his entire year last year, um, I think he's a maybe not a day one guy, but second, third round, easily. Kando got picked because of his F. Oh, Trey got picked because Trey definitely got picked. Yeah, had to, Brandon. Had to get picked. The man had 6 catches for 100 yards at Georgia. He actually transferred to Georgia thinking he was going to be used more and got used less. The man got drafted because of what he did at Florida State. It had nothing to do with what he did at Georgia because he ain't do nothing at Georgia. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Rose. If he didn't want to be at Florida State, it looks like he should have transferred somewhere because, it just bad situations for both of those guys. Uh, got long snappers getting drafted before Scary Terry and Marv. Yes, sir. Hampson will have a solid career. Terry bad attitude is what got him to this point. No, I completely agree, James. I completely agree. I completely agree. You got to be smarter than that. Ugh. But yeah, man, I just want to talk about these two guys, man. You got again Marvin Wilson, who we all thought was gonna, who again last year, this time the dude's probably a top 15 pick. Last year, this time in the draft, Marvin Wilson's a top 15 pick. He's either the first or second. At worst, he's the third D tackle off the board. And this defensive tackle class. It shows you how far Marvin really fell. This defensive tackle class was absolutely terrible this year. Absolutely garbage. And what, the first D tackle didn't go off the board until the second round, if I'm not mistaken. It was a kid out of Alabama. This defensive tackle class was horrid. And Marv let itself go. Insane. As for Terry, he knew this was a loaded wide receiver class, which I'm not. So, because Terry got some bad advice. Terry got some bad advice all around. If you look at the way he's just maneuvering, he's gotten terrible advice. One, for this being a loaded wide receiver class. Two, signing. I'm not saying signing with Rick Ross is a bad thing, but again, let's look at the way he's maneuvering with all this money that he ain't going to be making. Good luck with that. Terry needs somebody better in his corner to kind of guide him in the right direction. And that's really just all I wanted to touch on. A little quick something, nothing too crazy. Shout out to everybody who tuned in for a little bit. Hopefully this is 11 to the current guys on the roster. Shut up and ball. Don't be Marv or Terry. Hey, I'm not one of those people that tell athletes to shut up and just play. But I'll say this, if you're going to talk, because I am 100% behind your freedom of speech and your freedom to stick up and stand up and make a statement. I got no problem with it. If you're gonna talk, play. You can't talk and be a bum. That's just the facts. If you're gonna talk, you gotta play football. And I'm not saying Marv was necessarily a bum, but what you did doesn't equate to what you were doing on the football field. You were average at best on the football field this year. No one's gonna take an average at best player with the tendency to call out the organization and the coaching staff. Again, that shit don't fly in the NFL. Rose says, do you think we flipping Jaron Willis because fans on Instagram hollering fire Coach Marv? I mean, I not been on Coach Marv's head for the last few months? I told y'all about Coach Marv, man. Uh, doesn't seem like he can recruit. Just check what he's brought in as a recruiter. Jordan Eubanks and Shaheem Brown. Wish them guys all the best. I hope they pan out. But you're talking about two guys that weren't even top 500 players in the country. That's who he recruited. And then the position hasn't looked great. It's underperformed drastically on the football field. And didn't look too much better in the spring. We'll see if Amari Gaynor and Dix can maybe change that. Maybe if we can get Emmett Rice back by the fall, maybe he can change that. But the players ain't playing well on the field, and he ain't recruiting. And now we lose Jaron Willis to Georgia Tech. People are saying, well, no, that Coach Woodson is his primary recruiter. And that might be true. He might be his primary recruiter, but the position coach is the one that seals the deal. I'm also hearing Jaron Willis thinks he's a safety or wants to play safety. Good luck with that. It's not a safety. I think he could be a damn good linebacker. I hope all this motivate Coop and other potential players leaving for the NFL next year. Damn, I know Marv mad. He didn't leave last year. Talking about one for the team. It's his medicals. It didn't help that he got hurt a lot either, but, bro, there's guys that didn't play an entire year. There's an offensive tackle that got drafted who hadn't played for 2 years because of injuries and COVID and still got drafted. I think he went in the second round. Jacksonville picked him up. Every other position coach is recruiting and bringing in elite players. Then Coach Marv sitting on his hands. They drafted a Duke D lineman before Marv. I hope they can both be picked. They'll get shots in NFL camps. Marvin will get shot in NFL camps. Like, the one thing that's working in their favor, what is Marv? 6'4", 6'5", 300 plus. Not too many guys have that build are going to just be walking in the unrestricted NFL camps like that. Somebody's going to give them an opportunity. Same thing with Terry, 6'3", 6'4", 200 plus, 4.4 speed. Someone's going to give him an opportunity, but it should have never came to this. The Tech played it smart, letting him think he's playing safety. Because I believe, I agree, Rose. That's what you got to do. You got to you recruit him at one thing, and then when you get him on campus, hey, time. So we'll see how that works out. It's still, what is it, May? It's still May. They have a chance to flip. They have a chance to flip them if they can show what they're doing on the field or whatever. So it's still early there. Not too worried about losing out to Georgia Tech right now. Not surprised about that either. But yeah, man, this Marvin Wilson, man, scary Terry, undrafted. It looks like is the draft officially over? I haven't really peeped it, so I don't know if the draft is officially over. But sad, man. That's crazy. But shout out to the guys that did get drafted. Shout out to Asante Samuel and the Derwin James connection. I might be rooting for the Chargers this year. I'm not even gonna lie to you, folks. Might be rooting for them Chargers. I'm definitely going to be watching them, paying attention how that secondary look. I'm definitely going to be watching. I might be rooting for all the LA teams because I'm rooting for Cam Akers and Jalen Ramsey over there and for the Rams. And you got the LA Chargers with Derwin and Asante. You got J-Rob and Dalvin in Minnesota. You got Kano went to the Chiefs, right? So you got Kano and Derek Nandi at the Chiefs. Hey, man, FSU players still in the league, guys. We still in the league. This is still an NFL pipeline. Don't let people tell you anything different. These boys are still getting to the league. And shout out to Landon Dickerson, too. I'm real happy for that guy. I didn't include him when I was posting guys that got drafted because he got drafted off of his Alabama work. As we know, he didn't stay healthy with us, and then that infamous video of him watching these guys dance on the practice, and then he transferred out. I still don't blame him. He made the best decision of his life getting out of that crap. So shout out to Landon Dickerson, but I am happy to see him after struggling early in his career for it all to pay off. So shout out to Landon for that. Terry is one-dimensional, absolutely. Don't forget Trey McKitty and Gabe Neighbors. Yep. Forgot about Gabe Neighbors. I'm getting Asante and Azaldine jerseys. LaMarcus Joyner and Hamza on the Jets. Joyner's on the Jets? Oh, shoot. I didn't know Joyner was on the Jets. Look at that, man. The FSU still putting boys in the league, guys. Both these boys should have shut their traps and put in the work. Marv isn't even built for the league. Hey, that's what it looks like, Wayne. Terry going to be a rapper. Well, good luck to Terry. And good luck to Maybach Music. Terry going to be in that bit Maybach Music. Maybach Music. Good luck to that. I'm going to be on live later. In about 3 hours, I'm going to be on live again. Because I haven't done a fight live stream in a long time. So I want to do that. If you guys are interested in it, just want to watch boxing along, we're going to do that. Obviously, I don't expect a lot of people for that one, but we're going to have fun with that like we always do. Terry going to be a trapper. They all laugh. Maybach Music. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and head into this store, guys. So, thanks for tuning in to this little quick video. Hit the like button on your way out if you didn't hit it on your way in. And in closing thoughts, again, shout out to all those guys that made it. Next year we'll be back here. We'll see how they play next year. Early thoughts for next year. I think Jermaine Johnson has a chance to be a first-round type of talent. Mackenzie Milton could put together a good year. I'm not saying first round, but he'll be a draftable prospect. And maybe Coop, maybe Lovett. Offensively, Parchment's going to be looking to get paid. Parchment could come in with a vengeance. So, hey, we have a chance to bounce back in the draft next year as well. And again, at the end of the day, man, I wish all the best for Marvin Wilson and Marvin and Terry, to be all honest. And this isn't me trying to say I told you so, but this is me saying, hey, young guys, young prospects, if you come by this video for whatever reason, put the work in. Once you put the work in, then you work on changing the world, so to speak. But put the work in first, because without any resources, there's not much you can change. Talk don't go nowhere, man. Money talks and bullshit walks is what I like to say. Once you get the money, you can actually change the situation, change your community, and change the world. But you just capping on Twitter and capping to social media, it doesn't get you nowhere. The people with the actual power look at that and they'll stay away from you, man. They'll stay away from you. Yep, Amari Gaynor is another guy who could potentially get it. But that's all I got, guys. See you guys in about 3 hours again. If you want to come in, chill with me as we watch some boxing tonight. Some heavyweight boxing at that. Well, that's the main event. Got some welterweights on the undercard. But, hey, as always, stay classy, Seminoles. It's your boy, Pope, 863 Seminole TV. And we out here, baby.